Happy fucking Monday, bitches.
Happy Monday, girl.
We are coming to you from two separate locations this week. It's been a chaotic last couple of weeks, to say the least.
Yeah.
And we have literally like rescheduled this meetup like 6 times.
Like 6 times, you guys. I mean, fuck, can you
It was
blame
bad.
us? We were in Vegas. We were in Australia. I lost my job. That's what you get for waking up in Vegas.
Girl.
Are you still talking? Girl, stop talking.
You know, I
We
mean, we've
were
been.
literally in Australia. I'm done. That came out of like so.
Anyways.
Okay,
Anyways,
well,
girl.
I feel like before we do the recap, so like this is obviously the debrief episode, and um, wait, I just lost my fucking train of thought. Jesus. I was gonna say before we do the debrief, we should recap, but then I'm like, recap what? I ended up getting fucking sick again. That was irritating.
Dude, you do be sick as a dog.
And it was like right in the middle of our Vegas trip. Okay, so we had the road trip episode, which was so fun. I honestly love, 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 live, laugh, love when you guys send like DMs or text messages of you guys watching the show. I've had like a handful of people do that over the last couple of weeks, and it just makes my heart so happy. I'm like literally seeing us on people's TV screens. I'm like,
It's so
girl.
fun. It's seriously so fun.
And then I have a couple of clients that I do for lashes, and they're like, literally, you guys are so funny. We love the banter. We love the commentary. It like makes me laugh. It's really, honestly, really cool. And I just feel like so humbled in those moments because people are so excited to see us together, and like they're watching the show and sharing and telling people and then talking to me about it. And I'm like, oh my God, stop. You're making me blush.
We love that you guys love us, okay? Because it's just like so fun to see. However, I fear that I'm not able to talk about sexual shit anymore because my mom watches now, and I'm like, ugh, gotta wrap
No.
that shit up, girl.
Listen, I told my mom follows me on Instagram, and I'm like, listen, I don't know what to tell you. You probably shouldn't. Like, if you don't want to see it, it just is what it is. But I also fear that like me and my mom are so similar that she probably just like laughs at a lot of the things that I post on Instagram, but she definitely doesn't listen to the podcast. I know that
Okay.
much.
Okay.
Okay, so I just feel like we have so much to talk about in the last 2 weeks. First of all, this is my first time seeing you since Vegas.
I know, but I feel like I saw you yesterday for some reason.
Well, because you called me like 6 times
Oh,
at like
yeah.
12 o'clock at night.
That's true. You know what? Problem solved.
Well, I was like laying in bed and I'm sitting there. Well, at first, I really didn't even hear my phone. It goes on to like night mode where it kind of like shuts everything off, but it still vibrates. And so I was just laying in bed watching TV. It was like almost 12 o'clock at night. And then I hear it vibrating. And so I like quietly look over and I was like, who's calling me? And I low key saw that it was you. And I'm like, no, I'm sleeping. No one knows that I'm awake right now. I'm not.
You see a chance coming through to your phone at fucking midnight, you better just ignore me the house down.
I
Because I
know,
will not
because I'm
give
like,
up.
I know. I'm like, he's fucked up. Whatever, he's out. I knew you were out. So it was like, okay. I'm just like, I haven't, like, my active bubble is not active online because I've been in bed for over an hour, whatever. I'm just going to ignore it. And then it just kept going off. And so I'm like sitting there and I'm like, okay, maybe something's wrong. Like, if there's clearly something he needs to say. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to answer. I
Please.
literally answer the phone. You're like, girl.
Girl, there's never anything wrong. When is there anything wrong? Never.
Well, I mean, sometimes I wake up and there's like serious fucking tea that you spill via voice memo. And so I was just like, I don't know. I got nervous and I'm like, okay, he literally, that's when I looked at my call log and it was like 3 missed calls. I'm like, holy fuck. Okay, I'm up. I'm going to answer. I'm not going to be fucking shady and weird. And then you're like, you need to come out right now.
Hey, the person that put the idea in my head was your friend Nick. He was like, oh my God, I told Tatum to come out tonight and she's not. And I was like, oh, I got this in the bag. I'm going to fucking call that bitch right now. She will come out for me, honey. And then you were like, no, I can't. No, no.
I
And then what
know,
was she
so
saying today,
subtle.
everybody? She was saying, I should have went out last night. Yeah, I fucking told you.
Well, I wanted to, but then I don't know. I guess I just like got in bed and I was just like chilling. And well, that
It's
was the thing.
okay.
Everybody's like in Phoenix, and I'm not even gonna lie. It just sounds like so much drama going to Phoenix. I either have to
Really?
spend like $40 on like a one-way cab there, or I have to take my car and worry about like managing drinking or not drinking. And that just sounded like annoying.
Girl, my fucking Uber home last night, I had to wait for them to drop down to $50. They were like over $100 to get home. I'm like, this is
That's what I'm
stupid.
saying. It doesn't matter. It's like anywhere you go. Because Ree was in Phoenix too. She was like in downtown, but even in downtown, it's like you have to pay for parking. And then if you park, you have to find a cab in the morning. And it's literally from my house, it's almost 40 minutes just to get to fucking downtown
Yeah.
Phoenix. I'm like, no. Ugh. And you
No, we're
wanted me
not
to come
gonna
out
do it,
so
girl.
bad. I felt so bad saying no. I was like, Jans, I'm
It's
sorry.
okay.
I'm in
It's okay.
bed.
Girl, we'll have plenty more nights at Charlie's. Charlie's will always be there for me and you to go wreak some serious fucking havoc.
I know, I know. So I know it's like so crazy. I honestly am so excited to just like spend some time with you because it's
I
been,
know.
I mean, almost, it's been like 10 days. It's almost been like 2 full weeks, which is like crazy.
I know. Sick.
Ew.
It's sick in the fucking head.
Okay, so you subtly mentioned, like so nonchalantly, that you lost your job.
Yeah, girl.
Should we
I
give like
lost.
some backstory before we like go into
Well,
the
I don't
full
know. I don't know if I'm
debrief?
even allowed to talk about it because I post a fucking Britney Spears voiceover about it on my Instagram story and now I'm the fucking devil. I'm like, okay, so let me get this straight. I get fired out of nowhere and I'm also not allowed to laugh about it. What the motherfuck on God's gay fucking earth is going on here? Somebody's gotta laugh, girl, and it's gonna be me. Okay? What the fuck?
Okay, well, before we get into the whole story, we're just gonna like back it up really fucking quick. So when we were leaving Vegas, like we're like literally packing up to go. It's like Monday morning,
It's like
and
8:30 in the
Chance,
morning.
what was 8:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay, and what happened? Let's just run us through the moment.
Basically, we were like packing up the room. It was like 8:30, 9ish in the morning. We're packing, yeah, right? Because we literally got done with breakfast by 11 when we were supposed to check out of the fucking hotel in the first place.
Yeah,
It
so
was
it was
like
early.
8:30. Yeah, it was early. And I just was like packing up my shit and then I like checked my phone and I saw I had an email from my boss and I was like, "Oh, like what is this?" And like I clicked it and it's like, "You're
Wait, what
done."
was the header of the email?
I don't even know what the header was. It just said it was, you know what the header was? It was in the same email that I requested off for the trip. So he just
Oh,
responded
okay.
to my request off with, "It's best we go our separate ways. You're done, girl." I'm like, "Oh my God." And now
I just got fired.
Tatum and Rhiannon are like pissed for me, you guys. They're like, "Oh my God, that is
So
so fucked up.
mad.
Like, are you mad? Like, what's going on?" And I was like, I am so happy that I don't have to fucking think of this place ever again. Oh my god, let's go get a Bloody Mary. I'm ready.
Honestly, it was really crazy because are you okay with like sharing the full story before I do?
Do you want me to like share the whole thing?
No, like are you okay with us actually like for real talking about it?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Okay, so like before we even came on this trip, we knew like this trip for Chance was a complete fucking surprise. Like I bought the tickets, I set up the whole trip. He had no idea that we were even like that this was happening or anything. And literally he had no idea until you guys saw it all on like 2 episodes ago. He had no clue until we recorded together and I gave him the gift of all the things. And so when it all happened, like we had probably like 3 to 4 weeks in advance to like plan this whole thing. And in that time, he was like, okay, I need to like request off of work. He requests off of work, and your boss was like, sorry, you can't go. And at that point, I mean, there's like some back drama. We don't need to get into all of that, but you were like unhappy with working there. And you were like, you know what? Called me very upset. And I remember telling you, I'm like, okay, what can we do right now to make this better? Like, we can just try to find someone to cover your shift. You obviously don't want to go in because at the point that it was literally like, if you go on this trip, you will come back with no job. The threat was already made, right?
Yeah, the threat was made already.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, take a deep breath. What can we do? We can try to find someone to cover your shift. And you had told me that there was someone that had put in their 2 weeks and you would ask them to cover the shift. They stayed longer to cover the shift. So we're sitting here thinking like, okay, it's all going to work out. Like the shift is covered, no big deal. We go on the trip. There was some shade before all that had happened. But there had been no conversation of like any criticism or irritation or anyone being upset about anything. And then you literally wake up Monday morning to an email being like, you're fired.
Yeah, literally. And it was my boss that told me, like, hey, so and so is going to stay longer to cover you, so you're all good. And I was like, okay, great,
You're
I'm all
all
good.
good, as you
But
should
like
be.
that whole week leading up to our trip, like I just felt like he was pissed off at me. Like it just felt very cold shoulder. It felt very like he just did not want to be anywhere around me. Like I just felt like icky, you know? He made me feel really fucking icky and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know I, and I was just like, in my head, I was like, well, I'm good to go on the trip. He told me so. So like, I'm going on the trip. And then I go on the trip and then I still get fucking fired. I'm like, all right,
Full
slay
fucking
girl.
power trip.
It really felt like he wanted to make me feel bad for going on the trip, even though he told me originally that I wasn't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it felt like he was just trying to burst my fucking bubble. But guess what?
Yeah.
My bubble could not have been bursted. I was like, oh, thank God. I don't have to worry about this anymore. This is great.
Okay, so let's like throw it back really quick because you said you created a reel that was like a Britney Spears reel or whatever, and you posted it. So what was the reel and like what was the backlash? You said there's
Can I
backlash.
show
This is
you
the first
guys
time
the
hearing.
reel?
Okay, yeah, let's see it.
Holy shit, fuck balls. Whoa, girl, fuck. Wow. Oh my god. Holy shit, wow, fucking balls, eh? Yeah, holy.
That's what the reel was. And I posted on my story. And then someone who still works there messaged me and told me that I'm not allowed to go in there and eat because I posted that on my story and it pissed off the owners. I'm like,
Good. The fuck?
I don't care. I can post whatever I want on my story. I am no longer your fucking employee, right? I'm fired. Let's go our separate ways, right? You didn't even give me a fucking reason. I can post whatever I want. I didn't post anything talking shit about the restaurant, about the owners. I didn't say anything like that. Matter of fact, my next videos on my story were, you know, I was really unhappy and luckily I got fired and literally hours later was offered a new job. So this all worked out
Yeah.
perfectly. Like,
Yeah.
I did not shit talk anybody. I didn't say shit. And you know what? I am allowed to post whatever. I'm allowed to laugh. Okay, you told me I wasn't going to get fired and you still fired my ass. It's fucking funny. What's funny is that I put my 2 weeks in there and stayed to work for you, and then you fired me a few months later. I am going to fucking laugh. Somebody has to.
Well, that's the
Sorry.
thing. It's like it's annoying because they're obviously like live, laugh, eat, breathing the restaurant, right? It's like that's their livelihood. So like I understand that maybe they're taking it personally, but also, you know, who's taking being fired personally is the person you literally said would have a job when they were going to come home, and you hit them
Right.
with a fucking email being like you're fired, and you're posting this hilarious video of like laughing about it, being like, oh my god, like what the fuck this actually happened. You
And you
did
know
nothing
what?
wrong.
And you know what? Fine. Maybe it's like a little unprofessional of me to not respond to the fucking email and then go to post on my story. But like, what the fuck am I supposed to respond to you and say? Oh, okay,
But
great. Thank
here's the
you.
thing, you know what's unprofessional is giving your employee the cold fucking shoulder and making them feel like a piece of shit, and then telling them that they're going to have a job when they come back home, and acting like a child and emailing them not in front of their face and telling them that they don't have a job anymore. You want to talk about unprofessional? Let your fucking old restaurant come for me. Here I am. You want to come for me? You'll be so fucking lucky that I don't call you out by name right fucking now, because I will. You want who to leave a Google review? Girl, you better sit the
Girl.
fuck down and shut the fuck up. That's what I'm saying. You want to talk about professionalism?
Yeah. And like you guys,
No.
I literally was a glowing employee. I had glowing reviews both online and had tables get up and go tell the owners face to face, like glowing reviews about me. I've never been in trouble. I've never been late.
No,
The only times
they're
I've
just
called out, I've
mad
been
that like
sick.
they
Like,
didn't get the
girl, what is
response
going
from you
on?
that they wanted. So they're just upset about that. But I think you responded in the best way. You're like, you were already unhappy. You had vocalized that to a lot of people, like in your like day-to-day life. And you turned around and you have platform, and more people should understand, like more companies and more businesses, like if you don't treat your employees properly, you are subjected to online ridicule. It's 2020 fucking 5, and you either need to get in line or you can sit in your little office behind your fucking keyboard and complain about it like a keyboard warrior. And you know who's having a better life? Fucking chances. Not you. Sorry, that shit made me so mad.
No, it's all good. But like, you're so right. And like, I didn't even ridicule
Someone
anybody. That's
tag
what's
his
so crazy.
old
Like,
boss.
now, I wasn't told by the owners that I'm not allowed to come in, but someone who works there was like, they were really mad that you posted that, so you're probably not allowed back in here. And I'm like, I didn't ridicule anybody. I could have literally talked my
Said the
shit, and I
name,
did not.
left a bad review. Yeah, no, you did none of that. You
I didn't
were
do
like at
anything.
no.
Forgive me for fucking having a laugh, girl. It's funny. This whole thing is ridiculous. It's hilarious how ridiculous and dramatic all of this is, because it did
The
not need to be
most
this
you
dramatic.
did was stay up all night and go to the wax museum by yourself. So let's get into
The most I did was literally go and play one round of a slot machine with $20 and then go out onto the street in Delirium Town with how fucked up I was and go to the fucking wax museum. And you know what? I don't fucking regret going on that trip, girl. I don't regret it. Thank God I went on that trip. Thank
I'm
fucking God.
fucking dead. Okay, so amongst all the drama, I know everybody wants to know like the whole debrief of our weekend. So I think this is the perfect transition into the whole weekend. I think they obviously heard our road trip episode. If you've been listening, if you're a weekly listener, you heard our whole way there, and just like the fun, the sex, our thoughts and opinions about dating and social media and all the things. And that was like on our way to Vegas.
I have to get my vape, so just cut me out when I'm leaving right now to get it.
I don't. Okay, listen. You guys know that I don't like to edit the show if I don't have to. So I'm just going to keep talking so that I don't have to edit anything out. But we will start basically from the beginning. We get to Vegas, and I had done some research and wanted to do, first of all, I'll be so for real. Like, my life has been so fucking busy. So, like, when this Vegas trip happened, it was like very last minute, not only for Chance, but for me and for Rhiannon. It was just kind of like, we have 3 weeks, let's go. And so I was like setting very firm expectations for myself because we were driving for one. I cannot remember the last time I drove to Vegas. Ever since I was able to afford flights, I will always fly. It's
I feel the exact same fucking way. Someone's like, let's go to LA. I'm like, okay, we're flying, right? No, we're just gonna, it's a 6 hour drive. Yeah, it's an hour
still,
flight.
that's what I'm
Yeah, but
saying.
then
And
what
we can
about
get
like
drunk
getting
along
to
the
the
way.
airport? People
Yeah.
always like say like, oh, but you know, like the travel time between getting to the airport and getting to the gate, like, girl, it does not equivalent, like it's not the equivalent to a 6 hour drive. Shut the fuck up. I'm flying wherever the fuck I need to go. Shut up.
I know, I feel the same way. And so, like, this whole trip, I knew we were driving. We were just like, literally, girls' road trip. How much content can we get? What can we do? And so that's what we ended up with doing. And I had like set these expectations for myself. I'm like, okay, this is what the day is going to look like. I also haven't drank since the beginning of the year. So I'm like going into this full fucking blown Vegas trip, like 6 weeks, no alcohol. And I knew we were going to be like sending it 24-hour partying because let's be so for real. Any
Let's be
anytime
so
Chance
for
and I are
real,
together,
girl.
we don't know when to go home. And so I was like trying to prepare myself. And I'm like, I know we have to drive home. So I just want to make sure I can get enough sleep, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, so we get there and I had looked up some places. We went to this place, Happy Camper, which was so fun. It was like
Happy
outdoor
Camper was so
camping.
cute.
I know. It was like outdoor glamping, like RV, fake grass, full bar, DJ, disco ball, champagne flute kind of vibe.
It was
So
so,
fun.
so cute. I really liked that place. And the food was really good. It just was like,
Oh my God, so good.
it was
The
really
food
good.
kind of had like a Southwest twist, so like Mexican twist, but the food, it was so good. It was reasonably priced, and
Yeah.
so were their drinks too. Like I got a big ass fucking lemonade. It was like 4 drinks in one for like $22. I got 2 of them, and you can keep the cup. It was like a full vibe. We started there. We did a little day drinking.
I was pleasantly surprised at the pricing of that place just because everything in Vegas. I mean, you guys, we got to Vegas and my fucking shitty little vape died, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go to this little shop in the hotel and buy a new vape. $45 for a vape? I was like, girl, should I quit smoking right now? Just kidding.
What are they normally?
Dude, those like big fruity ones that everyone has, they're like $20 here. So it was
Oh,
like
so literally
double.
double on the strip.
Yeah, it was double on the
Okay.
strip, but whatever. But I was pleasantly surprised at Happy Camper's pricing. The food was fucking good. The drinks were really
So good.
good. The fucking vibes there were so, because we wanted to go to that, what was that club called?
Oh yeah. So we had originally looked at Lavo Party Brunch, and it was like inside of one of the hotels. I can't remember which one. And we had looked at it in the group chat and tried to figure out like, okay, could we get in? How much is it? And it's basically like it's like a day club. So they treat brunch as if it was like a Vegas nightclub, basically. And so we were like, okay, we could get in, but then they want you to like buy a table. If you don't have a table, you're standing. And then it's like, how do you eat? I don't know. It was like a whole weird thing. And so we're like, okay, we're not going to go there. But then we were walking down the strip, like trying to go and find Happy Camper. And we saw a promoter and he's like, hey, I could get you in right now if you guys want to go. And we had been thinking about it. But it just like we kind of walked past and we were literally just dressed in like day clothes. I don't know. The vibes were just so different.
Like people were wearing like fucking nightclub dresses, and everyone was like dress for a nightclub because that's like what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we were in line and we were like, let's just go to fucking Happy Camper. And I'm so glad we went there because it was
Yeah.
it was just totally fit the mood that we were in at the time, you know?
Yeah, for sure. We spent we were there for like 2 or 3 hours, just kind of like day drinking, like debriefing from the road trip, trying to like catch a buzz. And we had a handful of time before we had to get ready to go to the Sphere because that was like the whole point of the trip was the Sphere. I honestly thought we would have more time. We were waiting so that we could check into the hotel. You can't check in until like 3, 4 o'clock. We ended up staying there and then we just walked back to the hotel, checked in, and we started getting ready, which I think was like a blessing because we were like zero stress. No, like we weren't rushing. We had all these reels we wanted to do and we just started getting ready for the whole night, which I think was honestly the best move we could have done.
Yeah. And we had all these reels we wanted to do that we ultimately didn't fucking finish. So,
Well, I did too, and I did finish mine too, I just want to say. But the rest we did not do, no.
I mean, we were just having so much fun. Like, the last thing on my mind was like doing the content, which is why we
Content.
went there to do content.
I
But
know it's so
we were just
hard.
having so much fun with each other and, just whatever that I just was like,
This is just the
phone.
beginning. This is just the beginning. It's so hard to like be content on when you're trying to have fun and like be in the moment. But like once all this starts to pop off, we will have someone to like record all those things for us. So
I know we need a camera
mark
crew.
mark my words, girl. So, okay, so basically we all got ready and we walked to the Sphere. We got there so early like they suggested. And let me tell you something and be so for real. Once we got to the Sphere, so when we bought the tickets, I'm thinking this whole thing is 360. I'm like, what could we be missing? When we bought the tickets, our specific ticket didn't there were seats around us that were like obstructed view, but we bought tickets that didn't say that. And then so like we got in and then we went to our seats and we realized like we really can't see shit. And that was like kind of annoying. And the guy, oh my God, bless his soul, I can't even remember his
Oh
name, but
my
he
God,
was
what was
so
his
cool.
name? I forgot about him.
I don't know, but he's like, you can just sit wherever you want. I was like, wow, you were so kind. And we like went to the front seats and we like sat down and we were there for probably like 20, 30 minutes, like having a good time. You could see the whole Sphere. So like the Sphere on the outside is 360, but when you're on the inside, it's like a little more than 180. It's probably like 280. It's
Yeah,
not 360. It's not a full circle.
no.
So I just like if anyone decides that they want to go, make sure you buy seats on the second or third tier because if you go in the front, you could do GA bomb. If you do the like 101 section, be in the front. Otherwise, like you can't see shit. And that was like I was so excited and everybody's been asking like, "Oh my God, how was it? How was it?" And I'm like, God, I just wish I could sit here and say it was so fucking exciting, but I'm like,
It
it kind
was.
of
I thought it was. I
sucked.
still thought it was really exciting. I really did. I was like, this place. First of all, just being in the lobby of the
It
the
was cool.
sphere was fucking sick, dude. The whole fucking thing, like walking up to it was so sick. Being on the inside of it before we got to our seats was so sick. Like the fucking escalators and all the colors and the lights, like so sick. And like, even though we had obstructed view, yes, we moved to the front. Like, what we were doing, you guys, is we kept going online and seeing what seats hadn't been bought. Okay, so we like went to the front of level 1, and then we were like, oh, level 2, there's seats open. Let's go up there. So we like kept literally going to every tier because we wanted to like get the view. And then we ultimately realized like, okay, we were doing a lot of like walking and not just sitting and enjoying. And like, we would go to these
That
open
drove me
seats and
crazy.
then people would like buy the open seat and then come up to us and be like, oh, these are our seats. And we'd have to move somewhere else where there was an open
We'd
fucking
be like
seat.
sitting, we had like some good ass seats.
Girl,
We
what is
like
this fucking
literally,
fly doing
it
here?
was like a 15-minute mission to get to these seats. We sit down, we're sitting there, we're like, oh my God, this is so cool. We're like looking all around, like, holy shit. And then 5 minutes later, someone's like, you're in my seat. And then we dead ass have to do the walk of shame. I cannot tell you, like, we did like 3 or 4 walk of shames that whole time to the point. Are you okay?
No, there's a fucking fly in here and I'm trying to kill it with my setting spray.
To the point
Anyways.
where I was like, okay, I think I'm done. I'm like, I feel like I've missed. I honestly, I was a little bummed because I felt like I missed like all of Mal P's set. I only saw like 2 or 3 of his songs, and I was like so excited to see him. And we finally just like went back to our section and just like killed the rest of the night there, which was great. We like met some great
Hey, Dom, I'm
people, and we
sad.
were
I'm
like,
sad. I'm sad to hear that you were bummed and you felt like you missed Mal P's set. I felt like we still got Mal P.
I only remember listening to 2 songs, but then we were like in the lobby talking to all those people. It was just like we were just like drunk and like on one and ready to like mingle and talk. And I don't know. I mean, it was fun, but I also felt like it just went by so fast. And then we were like, okay, what's next? And then we were trying to go to see one of these artists at the clubs. So we were like, okay, we should leave. We left by like what, it was like 12:30 or something, and we had to like go walk back to the hotel, try to do an outfit change, and then we were trying to make it to the club in time to see either Two Chains or T-Pain. And
God,
then
that
what
outfit
ended up
change.
happening with that?
I
Because
don't even know.
Rhiannon was like, "Oh no, I don't want to go." For she wanted to go to T-Pain, but then she was like, I don't want to go out. But then we're like sitting there, we're like, okay, so are we going to make it? Are we not going to make it? And then we never ended up making it to see any artist. We just went straight to Dre's After Hours.
Yeah. You know what? I don't even know what happened with that, actually. I don't remember.
I have
No,
no
because didn't we
idea.
have to get there early for something and then we just didn't make the
Well,
time?
we had to get to Two Chains before 1, T-Pain before 1:30. And then I don't think we were going to make the 1. But I still you know what, we should have just went to the club to see if they would have let us in, because at that point everybody's already in the club, and we went to Dre's After Hours, which was in the same lobby as Two Chains. Like,
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, I knew that, but I can't remember like what were we thinking at the time. And then we literally showed up to the After Hours because I remember telling you it's literally my favorite place to go. If you guys have never been to the After Hours Club in the Cromwell, Dre's After Hours. It's an underground like speakeasy. They don't open until like 1:32 a.m. Iconic. Millennial music to a T.
The
Lil
music was
Wayne,
popping.
Ying Yang Twins, Usher, 50 Cent. Like, as soon as we got
Dude,
in there, I was like,
even
hey.
though even though we didn't go see T-Pain or Two Chains, we had so much fun at Dre's After Hours.
I know, but I was honestly shocked. Like, why didn't we just try? We should have just tried. I don't know.
Girl, I
That
was
was
following your
annoying.
lead and I was
I
barely
know.
hanging
I was
on by
like,
a
let's
thread.
just go. And then okay, so we got to Dre's. We were like one of the first groups in there. And then I got like fucking lit per usual. And it's this full like underground speakeasy, all red lighting, like bomb ass DJs,
It
fucking
was
good
fun.
ass music. It was so fun. And then we kind of like separated. What
We did
happened?
separate. I literally went to the bathroom, okay? And I come out and this Aussie comes up to me and he was like, I'm straight, but I'm also really curious and I want you at my table right now. And I was like, okay, let's go to the table. There's gonna be free booze there, right? Let's fucking go. And so then I was like, well, wait, hang on. I have to go out and I have to find my friend. And then I find Tatum sitting on a bar talking to a bunch of people. You were quite literally sitting on top of a bar and
Like
you were
my
talking.
ass was sitting on the bar? I don't remember that.
Your ass was on top of the bar. Like, you were sitting there, leg crossed over, talking to all these people. Like, you were like, had your drink and you were like talking and like
The
just,
moment.
it was a whole moment. And I went
I
and
am the
plucked you out of the
moment.
crowd and I was like, come to this fucking table. Like, I'm over here, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I think you eventually came over and we met a bunch of like
Well, because
Australians.
when we first got there, we met those two girls and they were like so sweet. They were just like super nice. So I was kind of like hanging out with them.
Yeah, they were super fun. They liked
Yeah,
us.
and then I remember like hanging out with them and then going to the bathroom and coming back out and you just like disappeared, but it wasn't like alarming to me. I just remember like hanging out, whatever, like meeting some other people. And then in my mind, I remember like us meeting eyes from across the room, but you were sitting at the table and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah. Dude, it's like so funny. You and I can separate, but I had my eyes, I could see you the entire time. Like, I was like, okay, she's over there, she's vibing. Like, she doesn't know where I am, but like, at least I can see her, you know?
Yeah,
All
and then
good.
I like I remember coming to the table and I sat down and this guy sat next to me. He was like this like
The
big
hot
bald
one?
guy and like
Oh,
what?
I was gonna say
Oh,
the hot one. God.
no, the daddy. No, the daddy was like talking to you next to you, sitting there, whatever. And then the one bald guy sat next to me and we were talking and just whatever. Like he's like, "Do you want a drink?" Blah blah blah. We were like hanging out talking probably for like 30 minutes. And then I remember saying something and he's like, "No, I don't even know who these people are." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" And he's like, "Yeah,
Dude,
I've like never even met these people."
it was a literal group of Australian men, and they had no idea who each other were, which I thought was
There was like
so weird.
7 guys. Okay, never in my life. Well, I've met a couple Australian men before, but like never have I been like in a gaggle of them.
A gaggle.
A literal gaggle. There was like so many guys that like and they have like all this lingo and all this shit. And you just okay, so let's fast forward really quick. Okay. We go out of the club, like we're like, okay, we're dipping out, we're hanging out with these guys. You were like, listen, one of these guys, they want to get it. I want to go get it. Let's go. And I'm like, I got you, girl. We
I
go
was
in
trapped.
pairs.
I was trapped by the DL fantasy again, you guys. I know. I know we've gone over
Well,
this. I
that's what you
know.
told me. And okay, when we were sitting there, I thought it was like the Zaddy one. And so, because he was sitting next to
Well,
you
he
talking
had
to you
his
like
hand
almost
on
all
my.
night.
He kept putting his hand on my thigh and rubbing my fucking thigh when we were sitting there before you came over. So in my head, I was like, dude, this guy is hot. I know I should not give the DLs my attention, but I am gonna fucking falter today. We're going down under, love.
What happens in Vegas?
We're going down under.
Yeah. So we ended up like leaving with them. We go out of the club. It's literally daylight. I think it was like 6 or 7 a.m. It was early. They were like, there were 2 other girls. They didn't want to hang. And we're like, no, we'll go. And we ended up like going back to their hotel in the Venetian and we're like hanging out. So at this point, it's like, I think it was 4 Aussies and us. And there was like and that's when I learned that the guy that I was like hanging out with, didn't even know these other guys. And then we picked up some other guy that didn't know anyone else either. So there was like 2 solo guys that were both Australian and they were like with these other guys that were Australian. And then we all go to their room, we're like hanging out. And, everybody's like partying and getting fucking wild. Like, we went to their hotel room to like hang out because Chance was sitting there being like, one of these guys invited me over because he wants some. So I'm like, okay, I will. With like girls, we run in packs. So I got you. And then I just remember at one point, like sitting there, and there were like the 4 guys we came with, and then a couple of their friends came also. And it was just all of a sudden we're with all these Australian guys. Never in my life have I been in a situation where it's like me and all Aussie men and they're like talking and I remember so vividly sitting there like this like in awe, like really listening like what the fuck are they saying? And they're like having full-blown conversations.
They were
And I
talking
just
so
remember,
fast.
well, and all the lingo and everything. And I just remember sitting there being like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
No, literally. Yeah. They were talking so fast. All their lingo is like crazy. You cannot. I mean, there were so many times where I was like, what? What did you say? Wait, I'm sorry. What? Like, I'm not understanding. And then they'd have to say it in like an American accent and like what we call it here. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm caught up. I'm caught up now, girl. I'm caught up.
I know. They were like laughing at us so hard. And I was like, no, honestly, like I'm really trying to listen, but I don't know what's going on at all.
Yeah, girl,
Okay,
we're
and then there
lost.
was the moment. Can we talk about the moment where like you texted me and you're like, Tatum, you're cock blocking me. You need to go.
I did. I texted Tatum and I was like, you're fucking cock blocking. Like, I'm trying to get some dick. And I did ask Tatum to exit situation. And I feel really bad about it, Tatum.
Well, I was just like confused because I thought like we were having a good time, and then you like
Well,
texted
we
me.
were, but that fucking guy across the room kept doing this to me. Like, what am I supposed to do? I told you that. I was like, dude, he was
I
literally
know
sitting.
I didn't see that,
Girl,
but you
I was like, all right, it's like time. It's yeah, you know. But I shouldn't have done that. I should have left with Tatum. I shouldn't have fucking stayed there. And then I ended up staying. So Tatum leaves, and I fucking stay. Then I was like, okay, I gotta go. Like, this is like, First of all, the hot one had his shirt off. It was.
Yeah. Well, okay. So you were like, you're bug blocking me. And I was like, wait, what? I was so confused because I was like, oh, I thought we were just having like a good time. And then I'm like, okay, you want to try to get with these guys? That's the whole reason why we came here. Like, no drama. Totally fine. I'll go. And then I left, and like two of the guys that we met at the club, they came with, and we were all kind of heading in the same direction to the hotel. And so we were like walking downstairs. We like go through the hall, down the elevator, into the casino. My phone's on 2%. And then all of a sudden I'm like, holy shit, I don't have my purse. And I'm like, not my purse. And then
The
I texted
purse.
you. I like tried calling you and I'm like, oh my God, my purse. You have to get my purse, please. I've only taken that purse out like 2 times. It's like the super cute. It's Coach. It's like really not that expensive, but it was
It's
a
so
gift.
cute, though. The purse is so
It's
cute.
it's like a statement bag, you
It's like
know?
so cute. So
I
I see her
know.
text that she left her
Oh,
purse. So I like grab the purse and then I try calling her and her phone is dead. And
dead.
I'm like, what the fuck? So I try to check her location and it said she was still somewhere in the hotel. And I was like, oh my God, like the
Dead.
guys that I made her leave with totally killed her. And she's like somewhere in here, right? And so I was like, all right, I gotta go.
No,
I gotta grab my friend's purse. I gotta go. Like, I'm out of here. Goodbye. Goodbye.
no, they were so nice. Though like they're like, we can go back, and we turned around and we tried to go back up to the elevator. And I just remember being like, I don't even know where we came from. I'm like, I'm figgity fucked up.
Oh my God, dude.
And then I was
So,
like, you know what? I'm like, can one of you just get me a ride back to my hotel? And they were like, yeah. And they were so nice, like seriously, so nice. Like, not just weird guys that are like trying to get at you nice. They were just like
yeah.
genuinely good people, which I feel like is hard to come by these days, you know? And I ended up getting all the way back to the hotel. I go to the lobby. At this point, it was like 8 o'clock in the morning. And I thought to myself, Rhiannon stayed behind. I don't think we mentioned that. Only me and Chance went out. Rhiannon stayed behind and she slept. And I remember thinking, like, Rhiannon's probably awake, but you know what? I just want to be respectful. And if she's not awake, I just want to slide in and like get into bed. And I don't want to be a problem for anyone. So I'll go to the lobby and get a new key card because the room is under my name. And I go to the lobby and she's like, oh, how can I help you? I'm like, okay, well, I lost my purse and I don't have my key card, but the room is under my name. And she goes, okay, well, I can get you a new key card if you just answer 3 simple questions. And I'm like sitting
What?
here. No, I'm sitting here and I'm like, Oh my God, I'm literally being quizzed. I'm wasted. I'm like, what's going on? It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm supposed to like answer. It's like a pop quiz. And she's like asking me these security questions. And obviously, like, I answered them and fuck. Oh my God, my camera died.
Oh
I'm
my
dead.
God, girl.
A, B, C, D, F, G. I gotta go. Hello. Okay, we've had some like dilemmas happen,
Taking up.
but what I was saying, um, yeah, so I had basically had like this fucking pop quiz, and she was like, you just need to answer these 3 simple questions, and I can give you a room card or a key card. And I was like, okay. And she basically was like, what was your date of birth? I don't know. It was like all these random questions. And I just remember being so wasted. And I'm like, nothing makes you feel more fucked up than having to like answer things that really matter. It was like to the point where she was like, you have to answer these questions or you're not getting into your room. And I
I
was
mean, I
like,
appreciate the safety, but like, goddamn.
I know. And I'm like, what if it was my friends? They wouldn't be able to answer these questions. Would that like you want like my first grade teacher's first name or the first name of my pet?
Literally.
Like,
Literally.
Lord. So, anyways, I ended up passing the test, which was great. And I made it into my room. Rhiannon was already awake, and that's when we were laying there and I got my phone charged, and then you ended up showing back up.
So I grabbed the fucking purse. I'm thinking Tatum is in trouble. I can see her location in the hotel, but her phone is off. She's got to be in trouble. I'm grabbing her bag. I'm flying out the door. One of the fucking Aussies is like, oh, I'll go with you and I'll pay for your ride to your hotel. And I was like, great, I'll take a fucking free ride. He ends up getting in the car with me and he's like, well, I'm going to go to the hotel with you. And I was like, okay, but you're not coming to the room though. I don't know what you think is going on, but you're not coming to our hotel room. And he's like, okay, yeah, fine. Like, let's just go. He pays for our fucking ride. We get to the hotel. I'm like booking it to the elevator to get to the room. And he's booking it right next to me. And he's like, all right, let's go. Let's go up to the room. And I go, you're not going to the room. And he's like, well, why not? And I go, because I said, Tatum has a boyfriend. Like, she does not want you. Like, I don't know what you think is going on, but like, you are horny very clearly and you think you're going to get something out of this experience and it's not going to happen, you know? Like, we're not going to the room. And he's like, well, just show me what room you're in. And I go, no. I said, let's just sit right here and I'm going to call Tatum myself and she can come down and hopefully relieve the situation. So we like sit in the cafe and he's like, well, why can't we just go up to the room? Like, let's just go up to the room. Like, I'm not going to be weird. Let's just go to the room. And I go, no, we're
You're
not going to the
already
fucking,
being weird.
we're not going to the room. I'm not going to show you what fucking floor we're on. We're not doing any of it. So no, right? So anyways, Tatum and Ree come down. We're all talking, hanging out for a little bit, whatever. And then he finally we all just kind of leave him there. And then we all go back up to the room, and Tatum's like, all right, I'm going to bed. It's like literally 8, 9 in the morning
10
by this point.
a.m.
Yeah, it's 10 a.m. I got to go to bed. And I was like, well, I don't want to go to bed yet. I'm here to have a Vegas journey. Let's go. Like, I'm going to grab my money, and I'm going to go downstairs, and I'm going to play some fucking slots. So I did a quick little outfit change, from what I was wearing. Go downstairs. I put the $20 I had in my wallet into a slot machine, let it run out, and then I was like, well, I guess I can like pull out $100 and like just play slots for a little bit. I remember I was playing that one that you wanted to play. What's it called? Craps?
Yeah, it was like the bubble craps or something like that.
Easy craps or something like that? I don't fucking know. Anyways, I had this guy come up and teach me how to play it because I had no idea what I was doing. And I was like, well, if I just like pull out $100, like I can just go play some slots, like whatever. And then I was like, well, wait, like there has to be something else I can do. And I was like, oh my God, we walked past the fucking wax museum yesterday and nobody wanted to go because we
Dead.
didn't really have to. First of all, we didn't have enough time. And also it just seemed like you and Ree like did not have any interest in going to the fucking wax museum. Okay.
No, I really did not care. I was like, I'm not spending.
It was $40. Who cares? So I was like, you know
Anyways,
what?
you were like, I'm going.
I was like, I'm just gonna go to the wax museum by myself. You guys, I never do anything by myself because I'm like scared to do stuff by myself. I don't know why. I just have this weird. Even when I go grocery shopping, I have to call my best friend and like be on the phone with somebody. Like I don't like doing stuff by myself ever.
Oh my God. Call
I don't.
me.
I don't know what it is. Like I
Let's go
can't.
grocery shopping.
I literally can't do anything by myself, and it's. I feel like it's like a weird only child thing. I don't know what it is. It's just like I don't know. So I like called my friend Naomi and I was like, girl, I'm like, you guys, I am in deliriumville. I am so fucked up. I've been up for 20 hours. I am in full blown
No, more than
hallucination.
24 hours because the night before you only slept for like 3 hours. So you were up like post 24 hours and you're like, you know what? Wax museum. Let's go.
I mean, you guys, I had been up for a full 24 hours at this point. I am
Honestly, I
drunk.
wish you would have just woken me up. You should have just been like, let's go, Tatum, come with me. This is
Please.
what we're
Oh,
doing.
oh, fucking please. You were knocked cold. When I got back to the
No,
room,
I
you were
was out.
snoring. You were knocked cold. You would have been so annoyed if I woke you up to go to the fucking wax museum, which you had
Okay,
no
that's
care about
fair.
in the first place.
But to be fair, before I'm sleeping, sometimes I just need someone to make the decision for me and like be certain about it. And I'm down. That's what I'm
Dude,
saying.
so you guys, I was in full-blown delirium town, okay? It's 24 hours that
Glam,
I'm
full
awake.
blown
I'm
glam,
full-blown
26
glam.
hours.
My glam was on for 18 hours. I have full-blown rhinestones, full
Honestly,
glam
full
on.
fucking slay.
And I was like, I'm going to the fucking wax museum. So I go to the wax museum by myself, and the girl at the check-in, she's like, oh, I'm gonna give you a discount. It's only $30 to get in. I was like, slay, hardcore slay. So I get in for $30, and I just like literally walk through and have a fucking time. I mean, these wax figures at Madame Tussauds, I don't know if you guys have been, but like, whoa. Like, I've seen it on TikTok, and I'm like, dude, I want to go check that out. It looks crazy. But I'm like looking at them like in their eye and I'm like, bitch, blink
Are
if you
you
need
rude?
help. Blink if you need
You're
help.
like,
You're
blink
in there.
twice.
It's like the House of Wax crazy, you know? I mean, because it's like several different rooms and they're just all full of wax figures that are standing in like various areas. And so when you're walking around looking, you think that these are all real people that you're looking at. Like not even you're looking at them from behind, so you don't think it's like a celebrity wax figure. You think it's someone working at the fucking wax museum. And then you like come in front of them and you're like, oh shit, it's fucking Jack Harlow. This isn't a fucking employee of the wax museum. It's literally Jack Harlow. Like, this is crazy. I'm like, I am not in the right headspace to be in here. I'm getting tripped out, girl.
Oh
But
my God. We need to go back. Okay,
no,
so
I do
like,
want to go
t-
back. But you know what?
I
Next time we go
know.
back,
We
I
need
don't want
like
to
a
get so
longer
fucked up.
trip.
I don't want to get
We need
super
a
fucked up next time we go. Like, I want to get fucked up, but I don't want to get shit faced like we were this past time.
yeah. Well, it was
And
like such short lived, which was so fun. But honestly, like after that, so we literally had like 24 hours of partying. And then the next day, like Sunday, we obviously slept. We woke up, had dinner, went back to bed. Like we did like a scary movie, like hotel night. We didn't, my whole thing was like, I knew I had to drive home. And I'm like, I cannot be fucked up if I have to drive.
Ree and I did the scary movie Hotel Night, okay? Tatum fucking crashed
Okay,
out.
wow, you're really gonna throw me under the bus. I was laying there listening to you guys being freaked out the whole time. Just want to say,
Miss, you should have woke me up to go to the wax museum. You guys, this bitch was knocked out cold, okay? Even when we got back from dinner, she lay down and was up for like, you were up for a good bit of that movie, just a little bit. But I was like, I'm
A,
waiting
B,
for
C,
this.
D, F, G, I gotta go.
Yeah, she was out. Outie. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her one bit.
Well, I
I mean,
started not feeling good. Remember, I woke up and I was like,
dude,
dude, my
you started coughing at the club. I remember you were talking to me and someone else, and you started,
dying.
and I was like, ooh, something's not good.
No, I
Something's going
know.
downhill.
So like my sickness came back, which is like so fucked up. And then the next day, I remember I was like eating chips. We had some snacks and I was like half eating chips. I was like, oh my God, these are so good. They're like scratching my throat all the way down. I'm like, yeah, anyways, it doesn't matter.
It was
But
those
this was,
delicious kettle cooked chips that Ree had, and Tatum was like, "Oh my God, these are so good. They're like scratching my throat for me."
yeah. And then we got home and then I slept for 4 days.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, there's going to be more Vegas trips to come.
No, I do
I
want to
think
go
I'm
again.
turning 30 this year, and I'm pretty sure we're going to do the 30th in Vegas with the girls. So, stay tuned.
So stay tuned for a round 2 down under with some Aussies, love.
With
With some Aussies.
Okay, well, I hope you guys liked the little recap that we had tonight. It was definitely well needed. We literally haven't seen each other since. And
I
I
know.
think next week, I think I'm gonna have like a little solo episode for you guys. It's been like a hot fucking minute, and I feel like I want to try like a bit. I think like in a past life or like maybe in a future life, I might be a comedian. And so I think I'm gonna try like a little bit next week. You'll have to like let me know if it made you laugh. But we have so
Okay,
much going
Nikki
on. I have,
Glazer.
huh? Oh God. Oh my God. Don't even do that. No, absolutely not. I literally have a fear of public speaking. So like, let's not make this more than it needs to.
What are you talking about?
No, I know it sounds crazy, but like we do these recordings, we do the podcast. That's not like IRL, but like IRL, I literally feel like like the fury inside of it literally makes me so freaked out. I'm working on it. Um, what was I gonna say? I was gonna
Okay,
say
we're working on
something.
public speaking and we're working on doing stuff by ourselves and not waiting for people to have fun. Okay?
Exactly.
Those are our personal
And
goals, girl.
personal goals, girl. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say, but in the light of not remembering, the only thing that I can remember is make sure you tell your friends that we are on YouTube at Girl Stop Talking Podcast. That's how you have to search it with the @ sign. Or you can click the link in bio on either of our Instagrams. You should be able to find all of the things. Please comment on any episode, whether it's YouTube or Spotify. You can leave comments. Anything you liked about the episode, if you agree to anything that we're saying, if you disagree, whatever. Like we want the hate too. We can hang. What else? I feel like there was something else we needed to say. I can't remember. Follow us on all social profiles. Tag us when you're listening. Take a screenshot, send a tag. If you know us personally, you don't have to tag us. You can just text it to us or whatever. But like, let us know what you like. I'm just so excited for the journey. And that's what I
Girl.
was going to say. The start of the YouTube reality TV series is coming. The first episode's going to be, probably pretty short. It's hard to like enjoy yourself and be chaotic at the same time. So we have plenty more fun vlogs coming. Just keep fucking telling people about us. That's the only thing that I can say. Chance, do you have anything to ring out the end of the episode with?
No, just girl, this fly is literally going to be the bane of my fucking existence.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I gotta go, girl.